Good evening, everybody. Jesse Montano, JJ Jerez out here in LA. Brought to you by Refi Jet. Drivers who switch save on average $150 every single month. Go to refijet.com, see how much you could be saving on your auto loan. JJ, it was a really impressive effort for the Avs tonight. 5-2, they knock off the LA Kings in the season opener. You and I were talking a lot back and forth. I think this game really impressed both of us for what we saw from the Avs.
Yeah, they just played a good game all around, right? This game had great offense, great physical play from the Avalanche. You saw some good defensive plays here and there from the Avalanche's defensive sticks and getting in passing lanes and whatnot. Georgiev had a great night, and then even Logan O'Connor with a fight. Again, this game just had everything and a lot to be encouraged about. LA Kings are a good team, right? And we saw it tonight. It was a good game from the LA Kings, and the Avalanche just were able to flat out beat them. And so I think that's really positive signs because it's a good measuring stick to play against another good team. I know, the Kings kind of flamed out in the playoffs last year, but they have a lot of talent and a lot of potency there. So just seeing the Avalanche handle that well, so encouraging for the rest of the year.
Well, and like you said, there was offense, there was defense, there was physicality. We really did get a lot of everything, and this LA Kings team has presented a lot of problems for the Avs in the past with the bigger bodies playing physical. Did not seem to be a problem for the Avs at all tonight, and I think that's part of what it is. It was a really, really well-rounded game. There was no part of this where it felt like the Avs couldn't hang, were getting pushed around. The other thing you didn't mention was penalty killing. The Avs had to kill off some penalties late in the game while holding onto a lead. Did you see anything in particular from that kill really, really strong special teams performance tonight?
Yeah, that was really what won them the game, in my opinion. I don't want to be the guy that sits here and blames the refs for anything, really, but the refs kind of put the Avalanche in some tough spots there towards the end of the game, and they flourished. So, that's what you got to have, especially with such a group that's still figuring each other out, figuring out Jared Bednar's penalty kill systems. To have this kind of performance in Game 1, I think they killed all 5 of the power play chances from LA. Just nothing but encouragement out of this game because it was no lay-down game.
You mentioned that it was Game 1. I want to circle back to that, but I do want to mention the 2 penalties on Bowen Byram there late in the game. You mentioned that the penalty kill really got them through. Both those calls came at a pretty critical time in this game. We did talk to Bowen Byram after because one of the calls I think you can sell me on, man, that second one, that's a tough call when you're looking at the replay.
I don't know. I'm not trying to hit anybody from behind. I'm just trying to play physical and be hard to play against. I don't know if they're penalties, they're penalties. I don't know. Not much to say.
So, like you said, the special teams win in the game. They're able to kill off both those penalties, which you need to do. When those calls don't go your way, you're able to kill off both those penalties. But you mentioned this being the first game of the season and already some positive signs. LA scores the goal to make it 3-2 with 4 seconds left in the second. Really felt like a momentum swing. The Avs came out in the third and just shut that down. That was one of the things that really jumped out to me. This is a mature group despite it being their first game.
And think of how many times in the past several years we've seen that top line carry a lot of the weight. They did it again, right? And they really were able to shut that door when it was starting to crack open for the LA Kings. So massive credit goes to Nathan MacKinnon, Mikko Rantanen, Jonathan Drouin, Cale Makar, Devon Toews because they really dominated the game. And then the depth really just kind of came and held everything up. So, top to bottom, just an impressive night for the Avalanche.
9 points combined for Mikko Rantanen, Nathan MacKinnon, and Cale Makar. I'm glad you threw Jonathan Drouin in there as well. I thought he had a fantastic game. Does get his first point as an Av. Hey, you went 3 for 4 on your bets tonight, so not a bad Game 1.
Not bad. Let's see what we could do this season. Let's keep it up.
It was a good night for the Avs. I thought a really impressive effort all around. It continues on Saturday. Weird kind of schedule here to start everything. 2 days off. They'll be hanging out here in LA the next couple of days. You and I will be at practice on Friday before the team goes on to San Jose. We'll be joining them there as well. JJ, any final thoughts for tonight? Or, just kind of good win and get some rest.
Yeah, looking at the 2 games ahead, this was the toughest one of the 3, right? So you're feeling really good about the Avs' chances to get back home at 3-0 and then face a Blackhawks team that we know what they're made out of. So this could be a really fantastic start for the Avalanche. They have a pretty mellow opening month here, so they could really jump ahead of the standings. Such a good opportunity here in October.
You and I talked about it the other day that on this trip, you need to win in San Jose, then you should win in Seattle. We said this was the toss-up game. You're absolutely right. They're getting it started with a win. Avs take this one 5-2 to open the season here in Los Angeles.